And this is Karen Glasser, and welcome to this episode of Connecting People, Changing Lives. And it's so good to see you. We've been off and on, a couple of weeks off and on, so we're really glad to be back here. And I'm here with my amazing co-host and co-part, Nancy Ferrari. Good morning, Nancy. How are you today?
Good morning, Karen. I'm doing just peachy here in Orange County. Summer. I keep saying that. No El Nino. But that's not why we're here. I tend to be a weather girl. Maybe I should have been right here. And I'm in a giggly kind of mood because we've got just the most entertaining guest who's going to be talking. We're not talking about comedy, but I love his lighthearted personality, his sense of humor, and we always have fun before we go on air. So without further ado, I do want to share with all our viewers that Johnathan Colbert, and it's fun to say that name because I like Stephen Colbert. maybe he's just a relative. Johnathan is the founder, and as I said, I live in Southern California. As Johnathan founded 2 chapters of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce here in Southern California. He was also the host of his show, What is Your Holistic Lifestyle Show, which is very important, and I'm getting some interesting sound.
We're getting a lot of sounds going on right now, guys, so we're gonna take a quick little break in the middle of our show. Johnathan, I want you to make sure that your earbuds are plugged in properly in your computer as well, because we're getting a lot of feedback.
Not for me.
Interesting. We're having paranormal activity.
I'm telling. Okay, so
it has been a week for all of you watching here and watching later. If you've had tech issues, you're not alone. Something's going
one of those
on.
days. Alrighty,
So, and needless to say, holistic lifestyle really resonates with me and how I've made many shifts. Johnathan and I connected about a product that he started drinking, because it is a drink, and it is helping me. And I'm going to let you all know in 2 months how this works for me, because I have been wanting to boost up my immune system, and we're not going to go into product development right now. However, I just want to share I think that's a perfect alignment of connecting people changing lives, because Karen connected me with Johnathan, and I'm connecting you with him now. So I want to say good morning to you, Johnathan.
Well, good morning, Nancy, and good morning, Karen. It's a pleasure to be here. And first of all, I'd like to say I want to commend you ladies for what you put out, the energy, and also the sharing of what people are doing out there, because it's very important, because you can never say the wrong thing to the right person. So a message might be right there for you. And, I think that this is a great platform for it. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, we're delighted. We're delighted that you're here. I mean, you have done so many things. You published a kids magazine in Los Angeles. You are the 2nd largest exporter of Noni Juice from Tahiti.
Yes.
You're a product manufacturer and a co-packer of sauces and health products. You're certified in global exporting. You founded 2 chapters of the I'm getting exhausted right now. You founded 2 chapters of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce. You founded and produced and co-hosted 2 health shows, including the one that Nancy mentioned, What is Your Holistic Lifestyle Show. But I was actually on your Social Sandbox show years ago. I mean, you've done a lot of things, and in addition to all that, you have, you build chapter memberships for the Holistic Chamber of Commerce. So, yes. Is there anything you don't do?
Well, the one thing I try to stay away from is politics.
Well, good, because we don't do politics here. But you know what, Jonathan? When I think about you, and we said earlier, I've known you for quite a while. You are a connector, and that is probably how I know you the best. Is you're a connector. Not a week goes by that I don't get an email from you saying you need to meet with this person. This is a great person. You connect with her, connect with him. I'm not sure what the connection will be, but connect with them. You're a connector. How did you become a connector? Why do you do that?
When I was in high school, I worked at used to be in the Avenue of the Stars, the ABC Entertainment Center. So there were 4 tennis courts on top of each building, and I worked there. And I would meet a lot of people, and other people had various interests, so I would connect them. You know what I mean? Hey, you need to talk to William about this. He has financing for you, or this movie deal. And then from there, I went to the Marina City Club in Marina Del Rey. Howard Hughes built that. I worked in the tennis department there, and that's where I met Al Davis and Dick Van Dyke and all these guys. And I would just sit and talk with them, and they would share. But a lot of things where I grew up was when I worked in the tennis department at the Ritz-Carlton in Dana Point, because there it just went to a whole nother level. I mean, if I knew what an NDA and non-circumvent agreement was back then, I probably would have never had to work, because I tell you, I put people together. It was my natural instinct. Hey, go to this restaurant, live. That's the only way I know is, I've always been energetic, and I've always loved people. And people love good food, and they love other good people. And, they want you to weed out the bad ones. Like, I've never had anybody bad from you. So sometimes your friends do come with a disclaimer.
Well, I get it. We have a mutual friend, Casey Eberhardt, and he says that connectivity is the new currency. Do you agree with that?
I agree with it. Very talented gentleman, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I listen to him often. I think I'm waiting for him to really get that smooth haircut, no hair, so he can get that Gandhi look. I love it.
He might have the Gandhi look, but I'm not sure he has the Gandhi style. I'm not sure about that. So I know we're going to talk about holistic, and let's talk about your holistic journey and how you got from wherever you want to start to where you are today. So what's your story?
Well, in the 90s, we had urban vitamin centers in different malls. And so it was really cool to buy from the carts back then. So we did a lot of volume, in that way. We did a lot of advertising and everything on a couple of radio stations, KJLH, Stevie Wonder station. We were always on there. So it was really great. I loved the herbs and everything. And then Noni Juice came out, and I was in the mall. I had a location at Puente Hills Mall. So this father was walking by with his daughter, and she was very beautiful, So she was looking at me, and I was looking at her, and he was looking at the business I was in, right? So he saw, the Noni Juice, and he goes, hey, have you ever had that product Pure? And I go, no. I said, this is Pure. He goes, no, it's not. Picked up the phone, had his warehouse guy come over. I tried it Pure, gave me so much energy, I went crazy. I sold a bunch to the Philippines. They flew me out there. And the guy goes, hey, look, we're in vanilla extract. We don't have anybody running this. And he says, well, what do you think? I said, yeah, your company can pay mine. Let's do it. So I started working with the farmers out there. And on the island, we made beer, rum, chocolate soda, all these different things. It was great. And I go to New Zealand, and I would get our supplies. So every month I was gone to the islands for about 4 years straight. Loved it. It opened my eyes.
For you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
For you.
But then what happens naturally through connecting, Caren, is people, they like you. It's like, okay, what can you do next? Or or they send you stuff and say, hey, can you do this for me? Can you do that? Well, let me get back to you on it. And it just opened up all these other windows of opportunity. Because, when you're a likable person and, you're straight up with people, it's a great thing. It makes for a wonderful relationship. And you don't want anything from somebody. A lot of times it makes for a wonderful relationship as well. Sometimes I tell people right off the bat, look, I don't want anything from you, but I'd like to help you. I'd like to be of service.
Mm-hmm. And you never know who they know and who they know, and that's
exactly.
Connectivity.
We're all connected. Mm-hmm. We're all connected, especially when the years go by. And so from there, when I started not going to the island so much, then it opened up other opportunities for me to be able to go in and look at other avenues. And it's like you have the health, but then you have the condiment side of things. So people that, want to use things all the time, but looking for good formulations. So I got a chance to meet a lot of formulators. And I walk shows. So I always go to shows and fairs. I tell people, become a hunter. I mean, I love that movie Finding Nemo when he's trying to find him, and then King Triton goes, "Leave no stone unturned." That's kind of that's kind of how you look at life, and and when people tell you that, it's interesting. And I've watched a lot of people when I worked at the Ritz-Carlton run 7, 8 different corporations, and people tell you, "Well, you got to stick to one thing." I mean, I don't understand that. I really don't understand it. My brain goes, "Okay, I think I need to stop talking right now because there's people out there. Right, the president runs all these different things. I mean, if you think about it, you can do it. So I don't understand that. So I tell people, if you're thinking about it, what I do in the mornings, I wake up and stretch my arms and go, what would a son of a king do today? And I get out and do it. There's no fear.
You are right, Johnathan.
Oh my God, you are the motivational speaker of
Let's just do it. Let's just do it. So,
Yeah.
But I like that. Why? I'm sorry, Caren. What I love hearing about you is that you refuse to be limited, and just because someone says you should, and this is a branding thing. That I had one person say, "I don't get you, Nancy." I'm like, what do you mean by that? You're in too many things. Well, then you start to doubt yourself and question yourself. And I love, you're so refreshing.
Well, you gotta remember, any situation as great as what you give it power. You don't give it power, it's done. And you can't take on other people's feelings and actions. We're not, you can't let things program you. If you don't feel a certain way, I hate to say it this way, someone passes away, if you don't feel like bawling your eyes out and everything, don't try to go there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And a lot of people, I hate to use that example, but sometimes it didn't affect you that way. You can have other feelings that would match up on the same level. But
so let's talk about holistic. Let's talk about what your definition of holistic is and how it connects with the show that you're doing right now.
Well, we do the show in conjunction with the Holistic Chamber of Commerce. So living holistic to me is you taking a look at the earth itself, what's natural, what's not natural, and trying to live naturally within your life. I love the Indians because when they had to do something like had to eat or kill an animal, they used every part, So there's certain, universal natural factors that are out there. So that's one thing about history. We can learn from that. And I believe that there's things here on the earth that heal our bodies. Now, the big drug companies don't want you to know that. Right. But, that's another conversation. But you want to try to find the natural. That's one thing I loved about being in the islands and traveling. There's one thing I always try to do is find out what the locals use. Anytime I travel, I try to go to the local places to figure out what's there. There's an oil that I bring in from the islands called Tamanu oil, Tamanu oil. You click on Dr. Oz, all the models use it and been using it for a while. But it heals your skin. You burn yourself, it helps bring back the tissue of the skin, bikini wax and shaving, skin disorders. And it comes from, in Tahiti, we call it the ati tree. So it's a big nut, it's a fruit, it's a big nut, you lay in the sun for 30 days and it dries, you press it for the oil. And that's why I like history, because you find things. If you're a Bible person, Revelation 22:2, it talks about a fruit that grows year-round. The seeds can come buoyant, float, and go reproduce themselves. We believe that they're referencing Noni. So history plays a great part. And I tell people, look, if someone's telling you you have something, I would listen to the other people naturally that have been studying to see what they have to say about it. Get those natural opinions, as long as the others, the doctor's opinions are great. Sometimes that's great for a quick fix-it-all, like you have something that needs to be addressed right away, you can handle it. But I always try to find the natural way of doing things. And cleanse your body once every 6 months, very important.
So what is the Holistic Chamber of Commerce?
Holistic Chamber of Commerce was founded by Camille Leon. There's about, I think, over 80 chapters, like 6 or 9 or so in Canada. They've got a couple in San Diego, 2 in Orange County, Beverly Hills, all through the Valley, Texas. It's a place where you come where you're looking for someone like Reiki individuals, health practitioners, naturopaths. And the chapters hold their meetings once a month, and they have it online as well. And you can click in the search box if you're looking for something. So it's a great place for you to be able to connect with the community. You might want to do a natural cleanse. You might want to do weight loss naturally. If you have a thyroid problem, you might want to know what herb is best for that. It's a great resource for you to go through and find things to deal with your body naturally. So
you said it's online. So what's the website for that? HolisticChamberofCommerce.com?
Yes, HolisticChamberofCommerce.com. And if you want to listen to some of our past shows, you can go to HolisticChamberofCommerce.com/radio.
Very cool.
One of our show sponsors that we have is a company called Clarity, CLAR, the number 8 TY, 8 being the infinity, Clarity.com, and you'll start hearing about what's called nutrigenomics and epigenetics. Nutri meaning nutrition, genomics meaning genes, nutrition speaking to the genes. If you go on that site, underneath products, there's a Kids Calibrate for Kids. There's a 5-minute video by Dr. V there. She's the top breast cancer conqueror. She breaks down everything. Your genes, your body makes a primary antioxidant. So flipped on those wellness genes in your body. And it's the most interesting thing I've ever seen. I've been making products. I did the first blend of acai, mangosteen, goji, and noni because everyone was fighting over what was better. So I did a blend.
You did? Wow.
I did a blend.
Is it still available?
No, kind of like the juices. Some of the companies have direct sales and so forth, but a lot of things now are add-ins, like aloe vera now.
Right.
But you want the natural things in your body. I hadn't really liked anything since pure Noni Juice. You can take pure Noni Juice and put it on your skin, it'll heal it up. Anything. It's just amazing.
So Nancy was saying, Nancy started using Clarity. So Nancy, tell us so far what your experience has been.
Positive. In fact, it was unfortunate that I came down with yet another upper respiratory infection at the beginning of January when we were supposed to have you on our show. And once it hits me, it's not like I just get congested. I am down for the count. It affects everything. And I love how you said, please check this out. And so I ordered it, I started drinking it, and it's just a very small teaspoon and about this much water. Now I love it. At first I used to do shakes or other drinks. I have to say, we both live in Southern California. We've got a lot of stuff blowing around here. We haven't had the rain we're supposed to. That's why I brought that up. But this week, once again, when we get those Santana winds, it's bringing in a lot of pollen, and I was feeling it. But I kept thinking about my wellness gene and how I know I could feel in me. There's no jitteriness, but I just feel more activated. That's the word.
Yes.
And I know that based on products I've taken in the past, it takes about 2 or 3 months. So now I've passed the month part, and I'm feeling quite healthy, and that's really important where I am right now in my life.
It's important for me too to hear you're healthy. Yeah.
It's the easiest thing to drink. Just the easiest thing. You don't need a blender. You just need a shaker and you.
Yeah, you can make salad dressing and martinis with that too, by the way. But let me share something with you. let me share something with you.
Hey, here's the hangover part, right?
you know what prompted me to send Nancy that information is because I was scheduled early to be on the show, and she got sick, and I went, she is way too busy to have any type of issue. So I said, look, let me share this with her. Yeah. So I was simply trying to be of service because, every day you have to be on. We're so busy, we can't afford any downtimes. And, I tell people, look, if you're passionate about something, it's time for you to be the boss. Work on being a boss. I mean, that's what you need to be in your life. You do the invoicing and plug into something that's there. A lot of people down other avenues, affiliate programs, and I always laugh to myself. And then they turn around and tell you, oh, my God, I'm going to start my own business. I go, really? What does that look like? And then we start talking, okay, you know how much money it's going to cost you to have a product? Then what are you going to do with it? What about your slotting fees? Do you know this? What about one brand? I started having real conversations with them. Then they start tweaking their comments a little bit. I said, at best, find a fulfillment center, do your marketing. That's still going to cost you. So at some point, let's get out of the way of all of this and find something you like. And whatever platform is on, do it because you felt that.
Right, and I think what you're saying is so important, Johnathan. I mean, I think it goes with anything, whether it's a health product or getting into a new business or anything. Just do it. Take that first step. I think the biggest challenge that a lot of people have, and I'm in that pocket, not so much anymore, is we kind of block ourselves from actually taking that step to just do it. And I think it's such an important message that you're putting out there right now is that you just have to go do it, take care of yourself, and do what you need to do. Don't talk about it, just do it.
Yeah, because when you talk too long and overanalyze, then you have self-destruction. Right. You will find ways not to do something, and you would never have the idea if you could not do it, and most people don't understand that. So you can't listen to Aunt Millie, Bad Boy Jimmy. You got to get these people out of your life, and you just got to go for it. A friend of mine, she talks about the itty bitty shitty committee in her head.
Yeah. It talks to her.
That itty bitty was another platform before that. Before they changed the name.
Yeah. We don't want the FCC or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, I apologize.
But no, it's that self-talk that. And for me, along this transformational journey, I have learned so much about, there's so many ways to even just snap. Okay, I thought that, snap, get it out of here.
You've got to
sabotage ourselves so easily.
You got to be able to gather the information that makes sense to you. How do you do that? You don't have time to go and study everything, so you get on some of these webinars. If it's social media, Amy Porterfield, Michael Stelzner. You know what I mean? If you're in a direct sales, it's Eric Worre. Sends out great messages. Spark and Network has a great platform for individuals out there. You have to start somewhere. Start interacting with the people that are doing things and take what works for you. A lot of people think they take everything as gospel. It's not always the case. I mean, you know, you can't clone anyone. They're going to figure that out in science. Someone's always going to screw up.
Well, and that's true. And that's true. And we, you know, I live in the internet world. I live online, and there are a lot of not so nice people that live out there, and they would sell you your own clothes back, and it was a gift from heaven because you bought into the hype. And so I so agree with you, and I think it's so important for all of us who are out here, especially in the online world, that we figure out who the good guys are. And if we don't know who the good guys are, then go to somebody you trust to tell, like you just mentioned some people that are definitely good guys, and find somebody that you trust that can lead you in the right direction, because there is so much noise out there, and everybody and their uncle calls himself an expert, and we know that can't possibly be true, that everyone is an expert. So in everything, in everything.
It's amazing. I'll have some people on my show, and then they'll want to come back fairly quickly. You know, some people are doing the same seminars for 5 or 6 years. Only people I know that have really done that successfully, the same information, is Napoleon Hill and Earl Nightingale leave the field.
That's true. That's very true, actually. You know, and maybe Tim Ferriss, because now Tim Ferriss is doing the whole everything. And you know, he's a good read, and everything is the 4 hours something, so he's staying within his own brand. I want to ask you something. I know one of the things that you sent me some information on is that you are now putting, or not just now, you put on events. What kind of events are you putting on?
Okay, so let me tell you my philosophy on this. I did an event with a lady named Sandy. She deals in essential oils. So she came with the idea. She said, look, you know, we need to do something for vendors. Because vendors always end up talking to other vendors, you know, especially you go to an event and, you know, nothing's happening. So it was her brainchild. We put on Vendor Blender. So they had the vendors come, right? So all the vendors came, and then we had a big room where you had to bring $100 worth of products. So we put it all on the table. So if you liked it, you spent the $100, and if you got in and did the $100, you can exchange. It's all about exchanging, right, on that particular platform. Then they were all set up so you can buy and sell. I did an event for women in business. I just did an event recently where I had 4 thought leaders, one on blogging, one on Twitter, one on social media, and the other on face-to-face marketing. So what I do is we set these things up, myself and the founder, Robin Hoffman-Hack of the Clarity Company, because we want to give back. So I'll go through and make all the food. We'll have food provided, everything. We just want them to come and learn. We don't charge them anything. And, you know, we build in the community that way. And I'm getting ready to do a couple of more events. I'll do one for raw food cooking. Then I'll do another one at this Mommy's Health and Business. So these are some of the things. I put the themes together. We have a space that holds 70 people or so. And we put these events on for people because there's a lot of misinformation out there.
Right. And so so this is a good segue, I think. So how do people find out about all these things that you're involved with? I know we started to mention you have a Facebook group, and by the way, guys, you can read the notes right below there. You can click on it and go to the Facebook page. But what is the page called, and what are they going to find there?
I have everything go through the What is Your Holistic Lifestyle show page. I post a lot of things about health there and events. This Sunday we'll be in Carlsbad, the New Earth events. That's a wonderful event. We'll be there. And then on March 31st, we'll be in San Diego. There's an event called Women in Business. And this is a wonderful event. So a lot of people have to get out and meet face-to-face. You can't hide behind the internet the whole way. The belly-to-belly is back, and it's not going anywhere moving forward. People want to shake your hand. They don't want to see you photoshopped, you know, just trying to remove all your flaws and this insecurity. I mean, I laugh at these things. I'm like, wow, you look nothing like your picture. I would have never recognized you.
I know. Isn't that amazing?
But it sends a negative connotation right away. Like, are you that insecure? Do you want to be interacting with somebody like that? I mean, that's the funny part. Hey, look, I know people, Caren, I'm telling you, I kid you not, that will not do business with you if you're overweight because they figure you have no discipline. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
It's all kinds of people out there that's so up here, that they forget about life, but they're very successful, high strung. I don't know what the next 10 years of their lives are going to look like, but they're doing it now. But I just thought I'd share that with you. That's a very true statement.
Well, all you have to do is look at pictures of people.
Yeah, it's like how are you going to have financial advice for a guy that's pulling up in a Kia and you have a Bentley? I mean,
Well, it's funny you're saying this. This morning I was doing what I always do on the morning as I go through Facebook and I comment and like, and somebody posted a picture of them. I posted a new profile picture of themselves, which was not a new profile picture. It was a very, very old profile picture, and everyone was complimenting and saying, "Oh my God, you look great." And I didn't. Oh my, obviously whatever you're doing is awesome. But then if you look down into all of her pictures, of what she looks like today.
Yeah.
Nothing like the picture she just posted. And it's just, so I totally get that. And I don't really understand the concept behind putting fake stuff, or it's not fake stuff, old stuff that is not you anymore. It's not you. It's who you are today is who you are. What you look like is not necessarily, it's not.
You know what? It's an illusion.
Yeah, my education is both, streets and books. And it's interesting, and I always laughed, and I said this to the instructor. I said, in the streets, we say where you're from, you know what I mean? But in the books, in the classroom, you say, what is your frame of reference? Same thing, you know what I mean? Asked two different ways in two different communities.
What?
And it's very funny. So a lot of times you can take these little things that you see, the postings and people who do things online, and you can kind of get an understanding of what you're dealing with. And that's a clear sign that you have someone who's very insecure. So are you really going to get the truth out of that individual and you're doing something? I mean, I
agree. I want to just reach into the computer and shake them and say, don't do that. Don't do that. Show up.
Be real.
Yeah, show up.
You got to get real.
Yeah, and two, it's like when I did the social media show, the reason I produced that show? Because I said I would never do social media. I found 2 social media experts, and I said, okay, I got to go into this. I'm missing too much. So I was JC, the average Joe, on the show. I kept the show dumbed down, and when I got into it, I would call and try to
did you just say dumb bound?
Dumbed it down.
I dumbed it down.
Down. Okay.
Because all this stuff that they were talking about, I had to bring it back and, go by step, and it was great. And everyone's like, oh, this is amazing. And so what happened was I would try to reach out to certain people, CEOs and so forth. I couldn't even get a hold of them, but on Facebook, got them like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe all the years I wasted, not doing this,
Well, that Facebook is now for our kids don't use Facebook anymore. Our kids say it's our parents. That happened with MySpace, right? When the first MySpace was out, it was all kids, and the adults took over. And now you got Facebook, where all of the adults have kind of taken over, and the kids have moved on to Snapchat and Vine and Instagram and all the other things. We'll see how long that lasts before all of us adults ruin things again by going in and using the platform.
Well, but, I think because of entrepreneurism, that's how I got into it. How am I going to share my product? And back then, it was all about the water and promoting that. It was a great vehicle for it. But as you said, no replacement for one-on-one relationships. And bottom line, that's how I do my business, my best business.
I feel right now I'm in a state of jump rope. I don't know what to jump in next, Twitter. I feel like that's why I keep watching you, Caren, to see what the hell you're doing.
Well,
if you guys are doing it.
I'm new. I'm into something new. I'm now into Snapchat.
See, there you go.
Because everyone was talking about it. I mean, I do the Periscope and I do the Blab and all that other stuff, and that was fine. But then a really good friend of mine who I trust implicitly, she was saying, you got to go check this out. And I said, oh my God, something else to learn. I mean, there's only so much space in the brain of mine. And yet I went and checked it out, and oh my gosh, if you haven't looked at it yet, it's going to, I believe, and I'm reading a lot of things about this, it is going to be the next wave of marketing, because what it allows you to do is in the moment you can take video, you can doodle on it, you can put comments, you can create memes in it, and then you can share it and to market whatever you're marketing. And I know somebody who's actually using it. She's testing it right now. She's going to create a program around the whole thing about using Snapchat. So, of course, since she was doing it, I had to do it too. And it's very cool. But I want to caution everyone who's listening here, just because this is what I do for a living. I'm a geek, so I like to try everything out. But Nancy will tell you I'm the first one to say, just because it's out there doesn't mean you have to do it. You know, you pick the one or the ones, the things that work for you, and leave the rest behind. Just because Snapchat might be the newest and the latest and the greatest, it may not be a good avenue for everybody. And just because Instagram is really, really cool, it might not be a good avenue for you. So I don't know how you feel about that, Johnathan, as you have dived into the whole social media thing. Is social media every single platform for everyone?
No, and I'm in the wave right now. I'm in the tunnel, you know what I mean? And something's going to crash on me the right way. But I was just really shocked when I saw LinkedIn started having advertising. I mean, I flipped my lid on that. I'm like, these people were so guarded, and now they're opening up this. So that lets me know that they're losing a certain market or they've been successful in a certain way. But my honest opinion, ladies, is this. Every platform is going to have everything every other platform has. It just seems to be working that way. And if it doesn't, they'll buy the other company and they'll have it.
Exactly. They'll buy the other company and that's what will happen. So pick what works for you. Pick what works for you. Johnathan, any last thoughts you want to share with us as to how we can connect with you, how we can get to know you, how we can go belly to belly with you? What do we want to tell our viewers right now? And I will make sure it's all in the notes as well.
Okay. I'm going to leave you with these thoughts. If you thought about it, you wake up every day, it's on your mind, freaking go do it. That's the bottom line. Put the tools together to go do it. Reach out, call someone, get on YouTube, try to find the missing links, call up someone, interview them. Say, hey, look, can you tell me this? If they have the time, some people will, some people won't. But how do you know if you don't do it? You know what I mean? You have to get out and do it. I put a lot of information. I have a business page called the letter I, like I View Business. And I put some things there from the social media world in there. It's not real popular. A lot of people don't go to it. But I do share there for some of my individuals. But mostly I like people to interact with me through the show page, because that's what I'm looking at. That's what I pay attention to every day. And that is, what is your holistic lifestyle show? And that's the best way. And to those that really want to get a hold of me, you can reach out to Caren and Nancy. They know how to get a hold of me. But the main thing is, you could do it. Find a way to be involved with something that grows beyond your zip code. That's very important. Because, if you're a person, a professional that hours, you're doing hourly things, get paid by the hour, there's only so many hours,
That's
and
true.
you got to understand that. So you have to be able to go and get into something, affiliate or whatever. Now you have tax write-offs. I mean, think business-wise. The system's set up for you to win. But how do you win if you don't play?
Exactly. Exactly. And as you said, if you don't know how to do it yourself, find a mentor, find a coach, somebody that can help you take you to the next level. So, so important. Johnathan, thank you so much for your thoughts, and thank you for being on. Nancy, any last thoughts?
I also want to thank you. You're an inspiration, and a word that to me when I wake up I'm navigating through my day, I'm very aware of my intuitive hits. What if something comes across my way, to pay attention to that. It's telling me something. We're talking about all the different social media. I've been in resistance to certain things. There's a reason for it. It's not for me. And now I'm okay with that. We don't need to be. And thank you for affirming how I've been feeling. That I'm in my own flow. Like you're talking about the wave. And you can get caught up in that rip current, and we don't want to do that. We want to be clear. And thank you for introducing me to clarity, because I am.
No worries. But when you're right,
more clear.
When you're riding in that wave, when it comes down on you, see those surfers come out of that and flip that water, right out of the air. So I tell people, all the time, just get out and do it. It's very important that you have success, that you interact with people, and go out and go to events. And I'll leave you with this quick tip, and you're going to think I'm crazy about this. 2 things I was going to do. I was going to redo the thing to my show called, remember that song, I Saw the Sign? Because most people don't see the signs.
Right.
But what I do is I Google the San Diego Convention Center, the Long Beach, Ontario, and also the LA. And I go there and find out what events are coming. Some of them say they're closed, but who cares? You know, if you want to learn something, go there. Find out. Someone may have an extra pass, but investigate what you're interested in. Be a hunter. There's nothing wrong with that.
And continual learning. Always,
That's right.
always personal growth and continual learning, because we don't want to stagnate. This world is going to keep going forward whether we go with it or not. So we need to stay connected, I believe, and that's why our show is called Connecting People, Changing Lives.
That's
I
right.
want to thank you, Johnathan, so much. Nancy, as always, it is such a pleasure to be with you. We should do this more often, I think.
Yes.
And we will, because there's so many avenues.
And we want to thank our viewers, because we know that you have a choice as to how to spend your time, and we want to thank you for spending time with us today. So as we say every single week, have an awesome day. Go out and give someone else an awesome day, and we'll see you next time on the next episode of Connecting People, Changing Lives. Goodbye, everyone.
Peace and love.